microphone saying, welcome, welcome, welcome. We have a special guest tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All the way from Martinique.
We just go global up in here.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly. So, this is my really good friend, Ida. Straight from Martinique. You know it.
Yeah.
Just from Martinique, Montreal.
Yeah, she's like
514.
What's the code in Martinique? Do they have a code?
516.
Oh, that's close.
596.
596.
514,
596. What?
696 for the cell phones.
I like it.
Nice. Oh, c'est ça.
So
We about those area codes.
the awesomeness. Not only that, like, she's my really good friend, is that she has a bachelor degree in sex education.
First of all, what made you go to Martinique?
Well, it's a long story. Basically, I did like a training over there during my like university years, and I basically liked it. So I wanted to go back, and they had like a job offer, and I just applied to the job offer, and I needed some change from Montreal. I always wanted to work overseas and work in Africa or Haiti and stuff like that. So that was my opportunity to go there, and now I'm there. I don't know when I'm coming back, but like everyone is like asking me, when you coming back? I'm not.
Not right now.
Not right, especially not for the winter.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, the winter, summer's over. She's like, I ain't coming back now.
Let me explain. 5 women in a room.
Right.
A mic. Grey Goose.
This
And
time
sex
around.
talk.
Yeah.
Where do you think this is going?
Nobody's
people?
keeping composure.
Sexology.
In the evening also.
Yeah, and it's the evening.
We have credentials this time, people. So get it together. We're going to ask
We're trying.
ourselves
We got
I'm not a
credentials.
professional questions. Okay.
I always work in like social and like helping people, and people were telling me, especially guys, like they were telling me, yeah, it's the same thing, sexology and like dancing nude, like you could do that. You can get like a great amount of money. I was like,
What?
They were telling me this.
Okay.
You know.
What? How? Wait a minute. Wait. A minute.
Yeah.
Right. They obviously
Stripping?
didn't understand what sexology is.
Stripping and sexology.
Yeah.
They were like, this. It's the same thing. Like
no,
fuck
it's
you
not.
talking to me though.
Wow. Okay.
No, but first of all, like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just tell you like a little story. When my mom heard, she did not heard, like she read the paper that was accepted to UQAM and University of Quebec of Montreal,
Yeah.
and I did tell her that I was like subscribing in like social science,
Yeah.
not.
You didn't
say-
specify.
You didn't specify exactly in what.
And when she received like the envelope and she like opened it, and I came like one afternoon at my house, and like she was, what did you subscribe in sexology? What is this all about? I'm like, oh shit.
But what made you get in sexology?
Yeah.
What?
What made you get into that?
Oh, that's
What was the
also
interest?
like a long story. I had like one teacher back in high school, and she was like a sexologist, and she used to, I don't know if you remember the course of like French, formation personnelle et sociale. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
And
Social
she-
studies.
social studies, and she was giving like the prevention, like STI prevention, HIV stuff.
Okay.
And I liked it.
You wanted to help, like.
I wanted to help. I wanted to do that. And after all, I was like, am I gonna be? I cannot be like a sexologist. I have to do something else, like how do you say that? Assistant social or
Social worker.
social worker. And afterwards, like, I'm gonna be a sexologist. I just want to do that. Fuck it. If I do not succeed, I'm still young and I'm gonna be, I don't know, I'm subscribing to be in a nurse or something like that. I'm gonna try that, and afterwards I will see. And since then, I'm working into my field. Yeah.
I just want to say that I've known Ida for many years, and we've been in the the nitty gritty of adolescence,
I hear you, girl.
and
She's certified to speak
yes,
at
no,
this
but
forum.
Ida was the kind of girl.
Oh, so you got dirt on D.
No.
Is that what?
Oh, yeah, she does. But
we
definitely
need to
does.
talk
No.
off the mic after.
No, Ida was the kind of girl
point.
that was so cool. Like she would have parties in her basement,
Yeah.
and there were boys there. You know what I mean? And it was like
Yeah, I
we
know
were
what you mean.
like 12 or 13, like that.
Were we 13? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
so that's what
it was
was-
for real. No,
We
it
were,
was
like,
for real.
Right.
That's what I said. The nitty gritty
Okay,
of
we're like
adolescence.
that cool
so
girl.
it was
Like
cool.
basement ghetto parties.
And if you had a thing with a boy and you want to talk about it, you call
You came
Ida.
to
That's
Ida.
okay. You're
Because
about to
she
meet
will
Junior on the
not
weekend.
judge you, and she will give
Ida?
you good advice.
May I say,
I tried.
it's very nice to meet you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I've had girlfriends along the way like you. And I remember being very young in boarding school with I think 12 years old. And
You went to boarding school?
Oh, girl.
like,
A couple of times they trying to hold me down.
But they couldn't.
Hold me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving. Thank you for supporting me. Because I was like,
Where's this going?
no. Anywho,
Boarding
yeah,
school.
I did go to boarding school, and having a girlfriend, a person I could confide in with my deepest vulnerabilities at that time was very important, and not feeling like I was being shamed or judged or embarrassed or attacked for where I was. So it's really nice to hear you speak. I don't know your ass, but it's all good, girl. You're welcome.
I have a question, actually. Like, what's a typical day of work? Like, what is it that you do? Because we kind of brushed on it, but
oh yeah.
yeah, what's a typical day in Ida's
I
work
work
life?
in an office, planning a lot of stuff, training, prevention, and going to appointments with people who want in their structure. They want to have a workshop on sexual health and prevention of sexual risk, not to get HIV or other disease.
STIs,
Any groups, any age, any public, scholar or difficult groups, or addictions, stuff like that. So,
Okay.
Addictions, what do you mean? Sexual addiction?
no.
Okay. Just asking because it exists.
Not
right?
yet. A lot in the Caribbean. A lot.
A lot in the Caribbean. Oh, okay.
Oh my.
She's like,
Oh
there's
my.
a whole lot of ish going on.
A lot of sexual addiction in the Caribbean. Aye.
And
Noted.
Noted. And with young, old, or all publics, basically. And I'm the person in charge of prevention, training, stuff like that. So.
Okay.
Actually, since I mentioned sexual addiction, we're having a conversation about this the other day.
Yeah.
I'm curious, actually, from someone that would know, how do you detect that? Because we were having a conversation about that, and I actually read a lot about that, and I know it's a serious condition. I know a lot of people don't take that like that. And he is like,
Yo.
I don't buy it.
No,
I just don't
straight
buy
up,
it.
because the thing is, the first time I heard about sexual addiction, it was Halle Berry's ex-husband,
Eric Benet.
Eric Benet. And I was like, whatever, motherfucker just want to fuck like a bunch of women and be like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm addicted, And and then this was, and I felt like this was after him, there was a bunch.
Everyone's
of
like, I'm
celebrity
addicted to sex.
sex.
Yeah, I know, but we
I'm
can't
sorry,
base
guys.
something
All the
that's
shows
serious
and
on
everything.
Eric Benet.
I understand, but I'm just saying it just became like a fad.
What would you say are symptoms of signs of sexual addiction?
Science, I don't know.
Not
all
science,
the
but,
science of sexual addiction, but let's say that the person when a person have like a trouble, sexual trouble, often like it brings like suffer to him, to that person, and that person, it cannot do anything else. It's just sex, and he got to have sex to, I don't know, to live, to
feel
function.
something.
To appease that pain.
Yeah, to appease that pain, to do everything else in his life. It's like alcohol addiction,
right?
Or
so every
drug
time he has the
addiction.
sex, it appeases for the moment until he has to have it again. Okay.
But then is there, I guess, there's a tolerance that comes with that in a way, like because just like alcohol, at some point, like your tolerance builds. I guess you want to have more and more sex. Is that like a real thing, or does that make sense?
Then I have a problem.
We already gone, people. Selective sex addiction.
Yes, I have
It depends
selective.
of who.
It's selective sexual addiction.
S-
Like
But for
SA.
how long? Sometimes
I know you feel me on that one, D. Yeah. Anyways, sidebar.
But something we wanted to talk about actually was, there's like sexual addiction, but what about like sexual healing?
Yeah.
Right? But we all know how that works, right? I think that's why there's such a thing as makeup sex.
Yeah.
Right? Because it does something. It does clear
does
something.
it cleanse?
Yes.
It's like it clears the sinuses.
You fix it.
You fix it. You unclog it.
You unclog it and it flows. But
It's
you know
what I
what?
like to call grace.
Girl, you want to call it grace? I want to call it some good ass sex.
You're mentioning
Girl, I
makeup
told you
sex.
didn't have
Yeah,
to
yeah.
worry.
Makeup sex.
Yeah, makeup
There's
sex.
like there's the one extreme where it's like it's nice. You've been angry all day. On the one end of the spectrum, there's that part where it's like we spend the whole day, we were upset, and now
I'm kind of missing you, but I don't want to admit it because I have too much pride. So
I'm gonna
let's
let
get
it,
the
but
sex.
what does
you
it
know?
fix?
Like I'm
What-
gonna let my body.
Yeah, but what
talk.
does it fix?
Exactly. That's my
connection.
question.
The connection?
Sometimes sex will, like, you forget. You're like, you know what? It didn't matter. But some people have angry sex.
Yes.
Sometimes, like, I'll start getting really, like, just annoying, And I'm not even realizing it. And
What
I'm
it's
just
about.
annoying. And my man would be like, girl, he's not even going to tell me. He's
He
be
just
like,
grabbed you.
He just grabbed me. And then I'll be like, thank you for that.
Thank you.
My thoughts are clear now. But it's true.
I'm not
It just
thinking anymore,
diffuses the
actually.
fog, and I wasn't even aware.
Because there's endorphins
understand.
too, though. There's
It
like,
makes you feel better.
yeah, there's endorphins, right? But psychologically, yes.
Like that fog is gonna return after that. I think.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
my point of
Of
view,
course.
that you're gonna have to talk about it
Yeah,
afterwards.
I agree.
You have to put it into words.
Okay, but you
Yeah.
know what? From my personal experience, what you're saying, yes, that fog returns, and most of the time, that happens often when I feel like I'm disconnected from my man. Like we haven't really seen each other properly. Like we saw each other in the morning, maybe at night, or like maybe when we talked on the phone, I missed him all day. But when we talk on the phone and he's stressed and I'm like unclear, and it's not satisfying to me. So I get home and I'm like, yeah, I'm naggy and I'm annoying, But then we
Bad
have
mood.
sex, and I feel the connection. I feel connected, so I stop the nagging. I stop the.
I think
Yeah.
personally, if there was a problem, and I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, D, you too, is that if there was an issue to begin with, right, and it's like you just get irritated and whatever, and
What
it's
you
like
don't talk about it
right,
first.
but no, that's it. It you're losing perspective. You know how you like go too far?
Yeah.
In your own head.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
deviate. That's a good word. And it's like you have sex, and then you could have that talk, but from a more balanced place.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like from a
It's
more
like when you're
yeah.
mad and like each other, you decide to go separate ways. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna think about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
So-
sex bring you like
Yeah,
together.
so the bond, but you could still have that conversation later, but with more perspective in the
Yeah.
sense that now you're calm. All that extra stuff is gone. I think that's what you were trying to say, right, Dee?
But yes, absolutely. But I just want to add that it's also the extra stuff is gone because now I feel like we're connected again.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like we're on the same wavelength. And I don't feel like I'm alone in my corner making, like you said, all those scenarios.
Yeah.
Building up on my own
Nothing.
shit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to
Well,
explain
I think what
this.
you're trying to say is like it's not good if that's the only resolution all the time is
Yeah,
sex.
exactly.
It becomes
no, you
unhealthy.
can't
It
be
really
that.
isn't.
I know exactly what you're talking about, D,
Yeah.
because it's like sometimes you'll go too far. You're having a bad day.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
just
that's
having
why.
a bad day, and you want to just, you know what? Sex helps that. You
It
just
does.
release all those good endorphins and anyways, I don't
Yeah,
have
energy.
and that good
That's it.
stuff that I don't have
Well,
to fucking tell
I have a
detail.
confession.
Ooh.
I have a
Oh,
confession.
what it is.
I have a confession.
Yes.
And I found myself opening up to women a lot more in the past few days than I have ever in my entire life. And it was like, I felt like something I did with sex was abuse it. Not, it doesn't have to be sex. I'm doing the whole, like you put
Penetration.
your-
Coitus.
It's not.
Coitus.
It's like,
Yeah.
I felt like
Doesn't
what
it sound like
I was using sex to feed another need.
Better?
Another need. And I was being required to face up to that and to see the other side of doing that, like doing that to someone else and feeling trapped in that feeling. And I don't know, my ego is all up in this because it's an ego thing, right? So it's hard to open up. But I feel like sexual healing is one of the things that many people need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're too scared, or they think they're inappropriate, or they think that they're asking too much, or they're being wrong in wanting to understand why they're so disconnected. So something that is so deeply embedded in them, it's screaming for attention.
I think it's important what you're saying. I think
Yeah.
a lot of people, I talk to a lot of women, and I get very shocked. I am also older than a lot of people around me, but I talk to even women that are older than me, and I'm very shocked to find out like they've never had an orgasm.
I know.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
it's the first one, or it's the first time they had one and they're 39 or 40, and or you know how we talk between us
Openly.
women openly and our experiences and whatnot. Yes, we do, people. We do.
That's what girls
and,
do.
Yeah, and
Like
not
this.
and not in a perverted way. The way y'all
just
think we do.
open.
Just
but
open.
but I just want to specify, not every girls do that. Like I find this this circle, I'm really grateful to have it because I've since been having really real conversations that help me move along and release shit I don't need. So please go on.
But you know, I'm realizing that I'm talking to these women and I see these blocks, and first of all, it saddens me.
Yeah.
Because actually, I think having a beautiful sexual experience or life, a sexual life, is something very healthy.
I think it's beyond healthy. It's necessary.
It's necessary.
absolutely
It's
necessary.
healthy, and I think it's important to be comfortable with your sexuality. I say it. I've said it in a lot of podcasts.
But it's true.
But I really believe in that, which should not be confused with being promiscuous or disrespecting yourself or whatnot. But understanding yourself and being connected with that aspect of yourself and being able to be in the moment and sharing that and transferring also that energy that you have. But it's like I find a lot of women are very blocked in that, and it's actually quite surprising to see the amount of women that have a block, a sexual block, or not comfortable to a certain degree, have some type of, I said something more extreme, like not having orgasms, which I personally find shocking.
Yeah.
But even the expression, people feel very uncomfortable with that, when I think it's something very natural.
It is.
It is natural.
It is.
Yeah.
It is part of nature. It's part of our life. It's part of our lives before we were even evolved.
Before
you know
you
what I
have
mean?
to think, you just
Exactly.
Yes, it is natural, but also don't forget, like, we live with people, we live in, like, in culture, and this is the culture, like, has a lot of influence on, like, on our sexual health. So that's why you were telling about, like, a lot of women, they are how do you say that, they they have a negative way to see the
perceive sex.
perceive sex.
They're not comfortable with it.
Exactly.
They're with their own sexuality.
Exactly, and it came from our culture, from our education. Look like the difference between sexual education between men and women. It's totally different.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Do you
That's very interesting.
Do you notice a big difference
Sorry.
between, let's say, North America and in Martinique?
In Martinique, like sexual, I don't
The culture,
yeah,
like
the
sexuality.
culture it's different. Men and women have like sexual. They have sexual lives like very early, like 12, 13 years old, and like in here, guess it's like more 16 or 17.
More like
14 now. Maybe it has changed, but
but I understand. So
it was always like
so would
earlier.
you say people are more sexualized over there than they are here, or
I guess.
more open sexually?
No, sexualized, but not that open.
Okay.
You know, it has a lot of influence of like religious and Catholic and Christian.
Oh, okay.
So the whole like idea of like the sin.
It's a
The
sin.
sin is like the idea of sin is so present.
It is.
And it's
like sex is bad. And,
yeah.
You know, I work in like prevention, HIV, and like people that had AIDS or HIV, they're like, they earned it. It was a sin. They did sex and stuff like that. It's still like this, or it was gay, or
Like if the reason you got
a lot
into
of judgment
trouble,
attached. Wow.
it's like if the reason you got into trouble was because of anything attached to your sexuality, you were doomed. Point final. There was
Like you
no
deserved it.
You deserved whatever,
You're a bad person.
whatever you were doled, you would deserve it. And it's like, I had to battle with that. Like, I found that sexual predators thrive under environments in which the victim is
Not supported.
Not
or
supported, like,
or discriminated
why did you
against.
had like that tight skirt on you and
Here, even though it happens a lot here, we have a dialogue, and it's very present.
Yes.
And even though some
Yes,
people
because
are
of the
still
Occidental
mentality, exactly.
And in Caribbean, Haiti, Martinique, it's like we're harder. It's like
Nobody wants to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
Am I right? I don't know. I'm just saying.
they're more open now, but it still has like
It still has a
That's
stigma.
stigma. Exactly.
That's the crazy thing, and I think that's like a worldwide thing. People being sexualized, but not being open at the same time. So there's people who are having sex,
They're
but
having
they're not
sex,
the
younger and younger.
Yeah, exactly.
But they don't get
but
it.
The intimacy,
But you're not attached.
that's
Exactly.
it. The intimacy is not a part of it. So you have girls that are sleeping with guys because they think they should, or because the guy wants to, or
Exactly.
Because their girlfriends are doing it.
Because
so
they wanna be
think
sexy.
it's
Or
normal.
you're trying to
But it
fill a
happens
void.
here.
No, but wait a minute.
No,
And
I'm saying all over.
that's when
All
you're
over.
younger. But older women, it's also it happens a lot because they're trying to fill a void, you know. And younger or older, I
That's
think
it.
a lot of people are having, you know, they're not even enjoying their sex or their partner.
Yeah.
They don't even know themselves, so they don't even feel comfortable with their own sexuality, and they're having sex because they're trying to fill a void.
Yeah.
And I think that's really sad because, like I was saying before, like I talked to a lot of women and I noticed that a lot of people are detached from their own sexuality. That,
Not only their own
yeah.
sexuality, but their own body. Also.
Yes, that's what I
Exactly.
mean.
In women, it's like the majority because you know in this society, when like you educate like guys and girls, it's not the same thing.
Right.
When like a little guy like is touched his like
He
penis,
masturbates.
exactly, we're like, oh that's cute, leave him over. And when it's girls, like don't touch it.
They
you
get
know?
shamed right
They
away.
get shamed. And
Yeah,
that
most
starts
times.
from like
That's really sad to me because I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like
I think not only do I not think I agree with you, Sibs, that like do I not think that anything's wrong with masturbation?
absolutely
I think
not.
that it's
it's
not just
necessary.
masturbation, it's like
It's
like
necessary.
the discovery of like
Just touching it.
it's like
yourself.
touching your arm. You know what I mean?
But I think okay, no,
And
let's get
you
into
have
the
another-
nitty gritty.
And you have another point. It's like guys like they search sexual organs, they're exterior. They're
It's
outside.
outside,
It's there.
whereas is it interior? Yes.
And women's like interior. You have to like put a mirror to see
what's happening there.
like what the fuck is it?
But why do women feel such a taboo to like even say like I took a finger, I felt up my my vagina, pussy, whatever you want to call it?
Because a woman has to have like her legs crossed and like to be the good lady that waits for her man. That's
well, you know what? I'm a lady
you.
on the street, but I'm not behind closed doors, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I agree too, but it's just I find that it's so, like you said, it's so cultural, and it's not just like Canada, Martinique. It's just all over the place. It's like I always remember thinking about how it's like you're supposed to get married, have babies, but you're also supposed to never like have sex. You know what? Before you have sex to to have babies. Do you know what I mean?
Can I say something on that?
The contradiction is too big
because
it's really big in the US.
It's the same thing. Also. It's like the same thing.
Yeah,
it's like we go to boarding school. You have nothing but your friends. You come out in university. You're chased. You have this person.
Girl, but let me say something. Boarding school, I went to Catholic school. I know what that shit's like.
Yeah, but
experiences.
So no, wait a minute. I'm gonna do a sidebar with you, and I know you're gonna feel me on this, Miss Lady Andy. All this oppression. I went to Catholic school. Where? Here in Montreal. Italian Catholic school, uniforms, just women.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, me. What do you think happened? It was complete rebellion because we were not allowed. We were this, we're not that. And it's funny because we had sex ed, we had all of that. But it's like everything they say about Catholic schoolgirls is true.
Too much repression. I remember
too much repression. So what do you think is happening? Everybody's going buck wild at 13 years old.
I just want to say I'll always remember. I went to a mixed school, like public high school, and I had 2 or 3 girlfriends that went to in girl only.
Actually, I went to the same school as your sister.
Yeah. And it was like we went to a dance. Like we were like in Sec 3 or something. Like how old are we at that point? Like 15?
Yeah.
We were 15. We go to a dance that's organized by like...
Girl, I'm talking about 12, 13.
Anyway, I'm going to that dance.
They're saying.
And my friends, my girlfriends are crazy. It's like, I mean, I was boy crazy. I was 15. But I saw these girls and I was like, oh my God.
The girls that I know.
No, they were...
The girls that I know.
What's that?
The girls that I know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Insane in the brain.
Oh, yeah.
Insane in the membrane.
No, but like I was 15 and boy
Girl,
crazy.
I'm not about to wrap myself out, but let me tell you something.
I was like,
let me
y'all
tell you.
need
Let me
help.
just put it this way. I ain't gonna wrap myself out, but let me just put it this way. If I have a daughter, there is no way in hell I am putting my daughter in Catholic school at no age. No, nothing. I don't want to hear it.
I don't believe in girls only school. I'm sorry.
No, never mind.
After what I saw.
Never mind all girls school. Not only that, all girls school, uniform, Catholic, Italian Catholic.
Oh my God.
We were 13, okay?
Oh God.
And they were doing construction in the school. And there was construction workers, 13. Listen, we went on a field trip to New York. Till this day, they don't do any more field trips after ours.
Wow.
We were downtown New York. 13 years old. We're in some convent. No, like, supervision whatsoever.
Skirts up their ass. Like, the girls we see nowadays.
Girl, we didn't even have that. You know what we had?
Exactly.
Knee highs.
Yeah. It makes it sexier for some reason.
That's what we were wearing.
Yeah.
We cut our skirts, red lipstick, the whole fucking nine, rolling up the shirts, tying them.
Like Britney Spears style. Like.
Yeah. And we was out on the window ledge. Hey! So what do you think was happening up in the fucking dorms? Alcohol, weed, boys.
Wow.
13 in New York City. Catholic school. It's real. It's all real. Everything, all the fantasy, all that porn stuff, it comes from somewhere. It's real people.
Yeah, it's real.
Okay?
It's crazy. Yeah.
So what happens is like the more you oppress, the more you want to go crazy.
The more, the more you
want to
act
out.
Absolutely.
Especially at that age. But it's crazy because me
that
was
age?
the opposite. Like at 13, I guess when I left.
Now what was you doing at 13? I bet we wasn't doing the same shit.
That's what I mean. I was the opposite. Like in the 6th grade, and then moving from the 6th grade to 7th grade, I remember going to high school and all of a sudden people were giving each other hugs, and I was like, whoa, girls are hugging guys. Whoa, what's happening? I wasn't 13. I was like, I remember I was 11. I was 11.
We were always 7th grade because we were born at the end of the year.
Yeah,
so we're always younger than the.
I was always like, that's the thing. So we're talking
makes
about
a difference.
We're talking about sexual healing and the ability to tap into that and know your body and all that. And I feel like I'm only just now starting to really understand, like, to know my body and be like, okay, this is what I like. This is
what I don't like.
This is what I don't like. This
is what I like.
It's my tempo.
It is a constant learning.
It is a constant
and
learning.
And what you like somebody to do to you.
And your body changes too. Your needs change because we're changing, right?
Girl, the stuff that I said that I'd never do, give the right person, I'm like,
the stuff that I'll never do, they're on the menu now.
Women also, it's like women
on buffet.
At like 30 years old, they reach like the climax in like sexual
peak. Their sexual peak
30. Around 30. Yeah.
Their sexual peak. Okay.
That's
interesting.
Right? That's pretty much
women
right.
have to go like through a lot of
I'm in my 30s.
And like pregnancy is different, and like menopause and stuff like that. So women have
the body changes so much because we're all hormones, right?
But I knew
hormones and also education.
Confession.
Don't forget about that.
I knew from a very young age that I was very sexual or sensual or sexual or whatever.
Sexual, sensual,
and sensual.
Both. And I think when you're young, you don't really understand, and because of what you're around. You can't really express that, and you think it's something's wrong with you, you know? And there's something like maturing with that and being comfortable with that sexuality is so freeing.
Well, how do you get comfortable with that?
You really, honestly, I think, I don't know if
it's different.
I think for everyone it's something very personal first. It starts with you first before you could even share with someone, because I know like it's something you could have all the technique in the fucking world. You could watch every porn, you could have all the experiences you want, okay?
Amen.
That doesn't mean shit if you can't be in the moment, you don't understand yourself and you don't understand what's going on, and until you are able to do that, you don't really enjoy sex.
Do you know what feels good to feel good?
I do.
That's good. I like how that sounds.
But it's personal to every individual. That's why, for myself, like being a sexologist, like people are asking you, okay, is it normal to do that? Is it normal to do that? According to normal,
no,
I don't know what to do. Exactly, it's different for everyone. From your learning, from your culture, from your biology and stuff like that. So,
but I just want to say, like, since we're going back to like Sibs, you were talking about, being comfortable, and finding yourself, and I know I said it early on, but I just want to say, like, Ida was always super comfortable, with sexuality. Like, we were, like, horny, fucking crazy teenagers, and, like, being like, what is happening?
Don't tell them everything.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying how you were always like, guys, it's fine. It's fine, okay? It's gonna be okay. Do your thing. She was always like, okay, are you enjoying this? Are you okay with this? Then it's fine. Yeah. Then it's normal. Yeah. Then it's fine. Exactly. And there was no shame. Like, whenever there was, and like sexuality is such a big part of our lives that it's crazy how much we shut it down. How much we
embrace it.
Yeah.
No.
And
I agree.
Anyway, all that to say that it was always a place of peace and like liberation to be able to sit down with you, and you were just like asking the right questions, like, was it okay? No, but it was right. And it was like, was it okay? Right. What happened? Did you feel safe? Did you this? It's like, and it was always like this soothing, and
but it's important.
And and you were so mature about that, and we're all like, what, boys, hormones, you know what I mean? And it's like, but it was like, it's that space.
That's super important.
Yes, to talk about it without judgment,
and also experience. I think the space also to experience and be with that person in in complete trust.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And comfort, but that space. And in that space, I think it's like a blank canvas.
Yeah.
You could...
And confidentiality.
Yeah.
Also, like, I
Yes.
wasn't, like, telling, like, the girl next...
Yeah, no, it's not
okay,
about
you know what
that.
Diane did?
Yeah, no.
I wasn't doing that.
Because it's something... This is what I think people don't understand. Intimacy is a huge factor that I don't think people are factoring in. You know, intimacy is very important. And I think that's part of also having that space.
Yeah.
But in that space, it, like I said, it's a blank canvas. I'm an artist, so I see it
It's like
all.
a secret garden.
Yeah, and it's a
Yeah.
canvas.
I
In that
love
canvas, you could paint whatever you want to paint, and there's nothing good or
Good or
wrong.
wrong, yeah.
Right? So I always say, to
your
each
thing.
their own. Might not be my cup of tea, right? But to each their own. And it's like, you know what? Adventure. Get to know yourself. And even in different times of your life, things I know that I said I would never, like I said, I would never do like 5 years ago. Now I'm like, well, I don't know. okay.
That shit better
or
happen.
even things that I did experience 5 years ago. I was like, yeah,
What was
I'm
I
not,
doing?
yeah, I'm not turned on by that. And then all of a sudden now I'm turned on by that same thing that I wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm in a different place. It's with a different person. The intimacy is different. All these factors
Yeah.
are important. I think people don't take the time to factor in all these things. They're so concerned with the position and what do I look like
What
and
other
technique
people
and
think of
what are
me.
people thinking and this and that, and people don't realize, like, get to know yourself, be in the moment, be in the moment with yourself, be in the moment with your partner,
You see,
and
yeah.
experience.
That's
Yeah.
it. I
You know?
I totally agree. And then you're talking about being in the moment in general, tapping into your sexuality already. It takes time and you figure it out and you make mistakes and it changes all the time and whatever. But then there's also the sexual abuse that comes in as well.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who've been abused when they were younger or now, or it's still going on. And the problem is they want to be present, but they can't be in the moment because they're dissociating because of whatever
They cannot, like,
what abuse
going
they-
past that.
Exactly. And I think that, I mean, for whoever's listening at home or whatnot, it's just important also to get the knowledge, like reading up about it. Because honestly, first of all, there's many more people out there than we know, you know, and right now, like, I'm going to be going away. I'm working on this play and we're actually doing that. We're going to be talking to teens. It's a 2-person play and we talk to teens about rape. Like, I play this girl who was a victim of rape in the play, and at the end we have a talk back with the kids, and it's important to, basically we're just telling them that it's important to reach out, first of all, to not keep it to themselves, because then it just becomes this self-perpetuating cycle of horror where
Shame.
and they think that defines their sexuality for the rest of their life. And I'm just saying that in terms of sexual healing, it's really important to go there, like you're saying, tapping into yourself, but take the time to go back and realize and be able to separate from what happened to you and realize that it was not your fault.
And sometimes
And
you
that-
can't do that by yourself.
Yeah, you need
and
therapy.
it's okay to go get help.
That's it.
Actually,
It's necessary.
It's
It is
necessary.
necessary.
Out.
And it's worth it. And you know what? You're worth it.
Yes.
You are worth getting the help to do that for yourself.
You are not what happened to you.
No.
This is not
And
you.
another thing is like actually acknowledging that those tingles, okay, they grow into something bigger. They're not inappropriate.
That's
They're
it.
not wrong. There's nothing wrong with them. They're a natural part of you evolving into yourself, being plugged into this tactile, physical experience. And if any part of that has been bruised or taken advantage of, or you have sold on the market to feel safe, that you're still okay. And you still deserve a loving, connected experience in which you lock into another person and you both agree that being human is awesome. Which is pretty much what sex is.
Pretty much.
I hope
That's
that,
pretty
like,
much it.
a lot of women and men are hearing like your message, because you know there are a lot of women or men that there are men also that
Yeah,
are victim
yes.
of rape,
molesting. Yeah.
and
And
do not talk about it. So.
We don't, and it's sad because what people don't realize is there's many reactions to being sexually molested or raped, and you know sometimes the people that have been molested will perpetuate the same behavior.
Yes.
They will they will do it to other ones.
And people don't realize, actually, I love that you said that, because there's actually, and it's very sad, because in our culture, we talk a lot about women being raped, but we do not talk about men being raped. And there's actually a lot, the percentage of men being molested is actually quite high. And a lot of people don't realize that a lot of behavior that we find,
deviant,
unacceptable.
Not only by men, but by women.
By women
yes,
too.
Yeah,
also.
definitely.
And like
very much so.
Pedophile women that are pedophile do exist.
Oh yeah, a lot. There's a lot of that
we
going on.
don't take that into consideration because
often the women has like the role to be, you know, the mom, to
they
need to be the nurture, and some
the
desires need to be on point. The desires need to meet some incredulous, like, specific virtue that most of us cannot meet up to. Like, real talk. Like, I don't even know what the hell Virgin Mary's about. I think she's awesome, but I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
Props to her.
Props to her.
You did well. You did well, girl.
You froze a point in time. But, you know, like, there are people who've been wounded. And, like, there's nothing wrong with acknowledging that you have desires. If you have a desire, to me, that does not run according to the norm that I consider to be the norm, I really prefer that you acknowledge that that's your desire, and that you realize how does the fulfillment of the desire run parallel to you feeling safe. What you need to feel safe amongst people, because some people have been touched as children and they only understand sexual expression with trapezing over someone else's boundaries. And just to acknowledge that that's what you are going through.
But that's also a trauma. You see, that's the problem, is that we're so used to seeing the person react as a victim that we don't realize that also one of the consequences of that could also be a predator. Because you are recreating the situation the same way the victim is recreating to try to change the situation.
Because you gave your
the
power.
predator, yes, but the predator is also doing the same. So many times it's not as easy to say, well, if they acknowledge that this is what's going on, they also have an issue as much as the victim does.
Yeah, for sure.
They do.
Yeah. And they need help as well.
Yeah. I appreciate you saying that, because it's like they hurt people.
Yeah.
They have hurt people, and some of those
But
people.
why are they doing that?
But it's not even. It's not even. I do not have time to do therapy on every single person who cusses me out in the day. I don't. The shit hurts.
I'm asking that because I've worked with like women. Going to prison and doing stuff like that. So
women that were going to jail for
molesting,
for rape,
every kind.
Yeah, really.
Molesting.
That's
because you never
people
hear about that. I'm just interesting because anytime you hear about women in jail, usually you hear about them doing something to a man because they've been victimized. So I find it interesting that you're bringing another perspective that women are going to jail because they've committed a crime of rape or
What if you were taught that was the only access point you had to connectivity, you know? And you were just like, that's the only way that you can get another person to interact with you. That's the only way you felt
you
worthy
don't know how, I think it's because you don't know how to connect any other way.
To me,
it's the only point.
I don't want my cousins or my little. I have a goddaughter who is an infant, and I do not want them to run into the hands of someone who is so sexually unbalanced that they are going to trapeze over someone else's like authority to take something so precious from them. And I do know people. I actually know someone who was, when they were very young, introduced to sex in a way that wasn't healthy, and it plays out in their world, and they are good people. They're really good people, and they're very sexual, and sometimes those lines get blurred, and it breaks my heart when I see them, because I'm like, okay, right now you may or you may not realize, but your shadow is showing up, and it's like hurting someone else, and you need to recognize that. But when I've known people who've been pedophiles. I've known people who have crossed those lines that we draw in the sand and say, like, it's an X and it's like, die. You know? But they're people. They're people. And if you listen to them
okay, you see, this is where I have a problem. When you're saying pedophile, I'm like, ugh.
I know, but it's just a label. That's just a thing. That's just a thing. It's a label.
And I grab
it's just a name.
Goose.
And you grab the bottle and you thank God that women can buy alcohol in 2015. Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
I don't think there's not enough
No.
goose for me to actually have a civilized conversation about
But
pedophiles.
if those people have never done anything,
The thing is,
knowledge.
trauma. Like, I think that, like, this is, like, stepping really far. Like, I don't know how I could explain that.
Yeah.
You know? But it's just that when we were talking about recreating, I think about, like, domestic violence and how a lot of the kids that have witnessed or, like...
from their parents?
Yeah. Domestic violence, women or men, they recreate it in their environment, you know? And it's just like, you know how many times, sometimes, and it's not something as dark as domestic violence, but sometimes you're like, you know, you see your parents doing something and you're like, I'm never gonna do that. And then you catch yourself doing that exact thing.
Sometimes my mother comes out and I open my damn mouth.
That exact thing. And you're like, wow.
You're telling a good point there.
You know, no, but you know what I mean? That exact thing that you were like, I'm not going to say that, I'm not going to do that. And you're doing, and you're like, almost like verbatim.
Yeah.
Almost
Yeah.
like,
The same thing.
yeah, exactly the
Word
same
to
way.
word.
Yes. And you're like, what is wrong with me?
Girl, I was channeling my mama the other day. I was like, and this man, he wants to make me suffer. He thinks I'm crazy. He thinks I was born yesterday. He must be crazy. I will kill him. I will poison him. I was like, my mother
Notice
said,
the Nigerian accent.
So,
You know?
No,
but
plus, there's some wounds that run so deep that they are beyond your experience.
It's in your subconscious.
You can't-
Not only subconscious, but your genetics. And like we were talking about,
That's so
like the
interesting.
difference between like Caribbean and us being here.
Yeah.
And we have like the wound. And we were talking about like before, I guess, about like slavery and stuff like that. And it's still in our genetics. Slavery.
It's in our DNA, man.
Exactly what like
It's in our memory.
the way that like men are with us, like I'm talking about black men.
Yeah.
Men are with us, like they're not there and stuff, like comes from slavery. And some people, they're like, oh no, slavery was like 400 years ago. Yeah, but
nobody
It's
got
still
any.
it's still
did
there.
anybody get rehabilitation? No. We were like,
No.
slavery's done, and then like a whole people
in the 60s, like, okay, like
you're good. You're
good.
You're free. You know, say anymore. Go get a job or not. No job for you.
There's a question that's been asked a number of times. It's like, what happened to the hippies movement?
Yeah, that's interesting.
What happened to that? It's happened a lot of times. Older people have asked me.
Good
because
question.
They're like, you're cute. You're so cute. You have this idealistic like movement going on. What do you think happened to the hippies? And it's like, what happened to those people who really did believe that your wounds were valid?
Yeah.
But they just took it a little bit too far.
I think they're still there.
But they're still there. Who
They're
are like,
still there. There's
there's
some
still
people that's
people
still
there.
there,
They're still
and
willing
there's
to hold
still the
presence.
idea, the idea of the hippies like movement. I think like the hippies movement, like they're still there. The ideas, and I don't know, for myself, like it's upgrading maybe, or
it's changing.
It's
evolving.
Yeah, exactly.
But
to
it was
another
all
kind,
about caring for people.
But today maybe it's like different state, you know, with the world we're living to, you know, the world has changed since then. The economy, the people, social science, everything has changed since the environment and stuff like that. So I think also sexuality has changed too.
It has. I mean, I want to bring it back to the sexual healing thing. Like,
Dude,
Yeah.
dude. Like we
Like,
got
what's that-
sidetracked with like slavery.
yeah, it's
We did not scratch the surface.
That's
We got
it.
questions.
It's like there's
We
so
did not
much
even.
there's so much to it, but I feel like it's like I like things to be in point form. I like things to be clear, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, I wanted to bring it back to the sexual healing topic. And just for anyone listening right now, because we're 5 beautiful, you know,
4 girls and a mic. We're Micaela.
5.
plus Ida.
Plus 1.
4 girls and a guest.
Yeah.
We're 5
very special guest.
We're 5 women.
Caribbean, African, all
5
the
women.
guests.
Yeah.
5 women and a mic.
We're from all over the world.
Yeah,
All over the
exactly.
world.
I mean, I just want to hear from each of you, because we keep saying, you know, you've grown to be comfortable with your sexuality and you've gone in, but is there something that one little thing that you did that really helped to tap into that? One simple thing. Like, I'm going to start and say masturbation. I will bring it back to that, because we keep saying you have to be present with this person.
One girl and a mic.
Seriously, we keep saying, like, you have to be comfortable with somebody else, but you have to be comfortable
with yourself.
Feeling those things on your own, like, and then realizing even just the fact that to take away the weird, like, shame thing that came with that when I was younger, because you know that thing where it's like young women, it's like, don't touch yourself, don't look there, you know that
don't look there.
Don't look there.
What is that?
It's
Exactly.
like
It's the
But
demon.
ugly.
It's beautiful, actually.
That's it. But basically, you know, it's like
fish.
It's like no, that's the thing. It's like,
You know,
what Dee
Fish
said.
is delicious with good, like, butter and the right herbs. Fish is delicious.
Yeah, that's
I
it.
think she was trying to quote me.
No, but just what Dee said, it's like my vagina, my pussy is just like my arm. Or
I think it's actually more important than your arm.
it is.
Yes, but you know how you stroke your arm, like when you're a kid.
fine.
No,
you
but
stroke
think
yourself.
about it. Even if you wouldn't have one arm, you're giving birth through your vagina.
Yes. You're giving a life.
So I'm
A whole
sorry.
new life.
To me, that's why I don't get where women don't understand that it's not the power of the pussy in the sense that, and yes, pussy does have power.
Yes.
It does, people. But besides that, I mean, what it is to a woman, it's very powerful and it's very beautiful.
There are a lot of women that they don't. I don't know.
They're not
believe.
educated.
They do not believe, but they do not know that, or they're not
they're not
aware of
connected.
that, of the power of
sorry.
that, or
The connection.
like the connection, or
Vagina
they do not
power.
have this.
But we're constantly being told that, like, pussy is weak. That
Well,
your
it's weak,
vagina is
exactly.
weak.
It's
Think
like you
about
take
it.
that
Listen,
for
if you can make men so fucking damn weak, okay? Because I'm
Men
gonna
and
just
women.
say it. No, let's just say it.
Men and women.
Okay, when the dick gets hard, the fucking brain gets soft. And now, if a pussy could have that much power, I'm sorry.
No, I
Let's
know.
take
We
a
say a
second.
principle.
Sorry, but
I
they do
agree.
not. They cannot live without
I
it.
agree.
They cannot.
Listen.
Thank you.
I
Can we
agree.
agree on
They
that?
cannot live
I
without it.
agree,
cannot
but at the end of the
live without
day,
it.
the speech that we're getting over and over again,
Right,
women
but-
are getting paid less.
Yeah, but
women
you
are
gotta
this,
look
women are
past
inferior,
Because they are
and
afraid of
also,
it. They
yes,
are
I
afraid
just
of it.
think that it's important to. I totally feel you, Sibs. With it, it is important. It's your
It's
vagina.
essential.
I'm a woman. It's such a crucial part of my being. If I lose my hand, I'm still a woman. You know. If I don't have my vagina, I don't know. We're gonna ask a few questions. You know, but.
No,
But
what I'm
just
saying is, like,
sexuality
I just want to
itself.
say that I find it important to normalize. Like, not make it like, oh my god, it's my vagina. Some women are out there, they're like, oh my god, my vagina, I can't.
There was a thing about
that's why
women
the
that
vagina-
had never seen her vagina. Their
So you have to
vagina.
That's
normalize
why you
it.
have the vagina monologues, and that's why, like, to
you
me,
don't know dick monologues.
we have the
They're everywhere in the street.
They need to have a dick monologue. They need to
damn
hear
it.
themselves speak.
You're making me think about some things, a lot of things, and like I was telling before, I'm doing like prevention, and we're talking about like not only like male condom, but the female condom.
Yeah.
And over there, we like trying to put
Push
the
it.
fun into female
Yeah.
condom,
So wait,
and like
how does that work? I don't know what that is.
you have to, if I had one here, but you know, you have to like to take the first ring and put inside your vagina like a tampon.
Okay.
And when I say that to women are like, what? I have to put my finger into my vagina?
wait.
What are you telling
Well,
me?
here's the thing.
A lot of women, but a lot of
Here-
women
here's
they're
the-
like, okay,
I'm
it's
sorry.
okay.
I want to interrupt this conversation for a minute. I'm gonna move my shit out of the way and have this conversation with y'all. Okay. The thing is, what is the relationship that you have with your vagina? Most women. What is the relationship that most women have with their vagina?
Or they don't have any.
They don't
Not
know.
mine.
They don't
But
have
you know
it.
what? You know what?
Maybe you, but a lot
I
of
don't.
women, like 90% of women, they do have like a negative like relationship with their vagina because we're told to, like Diane said, like it's not good, it's
sin.
evil, it's sin. You have to like cross legs because like men, they want to chase you and you get pregnant and
When's
you
the
get
last time that you put your finger up your vagina to check the general health of your vagina? You brought it out to see what
This
your
morning.
your discharge was.
You know what? I think,
Not for that
Hold
reason,
on.
but yeah.
I think that we can really answer that
I'm
question.
always laughing because there's are things that I'm like telling people into my like classes.
In your class?
and
Okay. And we're
trainings.
saying it here.
Like
But I think that we can really answer that question by answering Aza's question. What do you do to promote your own personal sexual health, sexual healing? How do you heal yourself? How are you sexually healthy? That was your question.
Yeah,
right? Okay.
yeah.
So I just no, and I'm gonna answer Aza's question and your question, Miss Lady Andy. Like personally, I was never like grossed up by my vagina. I was like, I'm gonna do all these things and I'm not gonna tell anybody. You know? But now like I use the Diva cup for like my menstrual flow and it's just you have to put your fingers up in there. You have to. You have to take it out and whatever.
You have to get accustomed to yourself.
You have to be comfortable with how your body works. It doesn't matter if you're man or woman. You have to be comfortable with how
it's
your body works.
basically.
This
you have
is-
to get comfortable with your eyes, with your hair, and everything, and down there too.
Exactly. It is as important as anything else, and I think this is how I do it. I mean, some people are grossed out by a lot of things, and I'm not judging that. If you're grossed out by fluids, if you're grossed out whatever, that's your thing. Me, I'm not grossed out by anything. Like fluids, and it's my body. And when I have sex, and it's like flowing, it's like this is what
It's
it
normal,
is
it's
to me, and I feel like it's great.
Yeah.
But how I came to this point was by learning to, like Sib said, let it go.
Yeah.
Be in the moment and let it go.
Yeah.
Don't be thinking about how your ass looks. Do you have that fact? No.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Let it go. You're in the moment.
Don't
It
judge
feels
this
good.
shawty.
Exactly. It feels good. And I remember, this is like sharing. I remember being in that moment of being like, oh my God, what is happening? Oh my God. And thinking about all those things. And the second I dropped everything, that's when I had my orgasm.
Of course.
The second when I was like, fuck it, this is what it is.
You
You know,
just
I'm
drop the
here in
judgment.
this moment. I'm here in this moment.
Yeah.
You know?
And there are a lot of people that they cannot do that. They cannot let it go, and that's the main problem. They have a problem of anxiety, of performance, of especially guys. Like, am I doing okay? Am I pleasing her? They have problems of like letting go.
And I just want to add something, just like my to my little bubble. Sex, like satisfaction. It's like yes, your body, but your mind.
Yeah.
Your mind. It's in your brain. Some people that are disabled that don't even have genitalia anymore, or like the genitalia don't work, they can still orgasm. Why? They can still achieve sexual satisfaction. Why? Because it's in your head.
Exactly.
And they deserve it.
Yes.
They deserve the connection. They deserve the release.
Yes.
They deserve both.
We all do.
We all do. We all do. It doesn't have to match this thing
No,
that was
no,
written
no.
by this person. We all deserve it. If you can imagine it, you deserve it.
So what do you do, Miss Lady Andy, to get to that point of sexual healing?
Lord have mercy, y'all.
Wrap it up. It is.
Right now,
I feel
in my
like
life,
it's like a therapy or done.
Yeah.
It's
it is,
always a
though.
therapy,
Yeah,
babe.
it's like
It always is.
right now in my life, the most honest truth, because when I was 20, I was like, yeah, be turning round and round we go. Whatever.
Right,
That's
that
all, whatever. All I want is to feel in connection with another being in that moment, and to feel safe,
Preach.
and to feel like I want to embrace you. So if that means we're just talking on the street and we're fully clothed and whatever, it's all good. If it means you're exchanging money with me and you're smiling at me and you're like, I hope you do well, and I'm like, I don't know how you do this, but I hope you do well too, amen. If it's with my lover and I'm like, I'm open to you, I want to give you all the well-being I've been building up since I was 1 years old, I don't know.
And you want to receive it as well.
I want to receive it as well.
Yeah.
I want to have integrity in my relationships, friendships, parents, siblings, lovers, whatever. I want to be able to say I love you and really mean it.
Mm-hmm. With your heart.
With my heart.
And that's how
and not be blocked in by that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I love you. Whoever that is, y'all love me. Because I thought about this shit.
What about you, Sybil?
For me, definitely it's that connection. Let that be. Now that I'm older, I also realize that the connection has to be on many levels for me to enjoy it to the fullest. So if I'm being stimulated on many levels, because to me it's not only about the sex, it's about the lover.
Exactly.
It's about the
I
lover.
was going to ask you.
So it's the lover that gives it to you. It's not the sex itself. So to me that's really important, and it's the interaction that we're having. So that moment where he's in the moment, I'm in the moment, I could completely be in that moment. And it's a conversation I've had. Like, I'll give an example. It's an I think I was talking about it with Asa. No, there's that moment, for instance, I'll just be blunt.
Please.
Okay? That a man's going down on you.
Yeah.
You know, and you have a tendency, no, it's the truth. You have a tendency to be like, oh my God, no, stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
I do
that.
Women, ladies,
Hang in there.
do not do that. Let it
go.
happen.
Let it happen.
I swear you will have the best orgasm ever. You might squirt.
Even though it's like
Let yourself be, let yourself enjoy.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. You're having a connection with someone.
Yeah, don't
You
judge
know,
it so much.
there's no yes, no, bad, whatever criteria. You know, we all have, because of our own life experiences and likes and experiences. You know, for instance, I'll just say it. I'm very domineering in my social life, for work, in many circumstances. So behind closed doors, that's not my preference, right? Because somewhere that's the intimate part where you want to let go and be who you really are.
Yeah.
Right? There's nothing wrong with that. No. Let yourself experience these things. If you have trust, if you have this space with someone where it's safe, it's a playground. Enjoy.
I love that.
It's a playground. Your body's a playground. His body's a playground. The space is a playground. Enjoy yourself. Let yourself. But, of course, like I said, there has to be respect. It has to be safe, you know. But let yourself experience that. Love yourself.
Yeah.
Let yourself experience that. It doesn't matter what title it is. It doesn't have to be your husband. It doesn't have to be your... whatever. And if it's better with your boyfriend... or whatever, but let yourself experience that.
Be in that space.
Yeah.
That space is important.
It is.
You know, and let yourself feel.
Yeah.
I think that's important. Let yourself feel. So for me, it's that. It's letting
Let
myself feel.
Yeah.
And I have to be honest, I think that I didn't understand it when I was younger, but sex is so much better now that I've matured.
Yes. Oh God.
exactly.
It's so much better. So I get it. I get it when, you know, they're saying when you're too young. I understand.
Yeah.
Because with maturity is like, you also understand what's going on.
You know yourself,
You could be,
too.
you know yourself. You
And
could
you're
be
not
in the
afraid to
moment.
ask for what you want.
Right. Or most importantly, let yourself go to these places where you might have had inhibitions.
Yeah.
You know, and experience it in your in your glory.
Yeah.
Trust yourself in it.
Yes.
You're not
and
ashamed.
no,
of having
and
that
just
moment.
just
It's not a shameful moment.
just experience it and be with it, like be with it. you know, and embrace your sexuality. It's important for a woman, you know, it's part of your beauty.
Yeah.
And it's very powerful.
It is,
you know,
so
because
powerful.
even from that energy, you're drawing energy
Creativity.
for other things.
Yeah.
That's not just the act of sex, because you know what, there's a lot of attachments to that. It's not only the act itself of penetration.
Absolutely.
There's the lead up, there's everything, there's so much things, you know what I mean? So
I agree,
embrace it. It's beautiful, it's nothing bad, you know. And if there is issues, that's okay. A lot of us have been through them, and we've gone through them, and it's okay also to seek help, talk.
Yeah.
It's okay.
That's it. And
It's not a taboo.
Yeah, that's it. Just before switching to Ida, because I really want to hear what you have to say. What you said about it doesn't have to be directly related to sex to be nurturing that part of you. And I find that sexual energy is creative energy. So
absolutely
tap into your passions too, right? So you're saying you're a painter. You can paint, and you might, if no, but you know what I mean? Like,
no, because I'm laughing because it's like my paintings, they're very sensual.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so is my writing. I've been writing a lot of erotica, so but it's
But for
I've
people who
embraced
don't
that
know-
within myself.
But like for people who aren't sure how to go about it, and they don't necessarily have someone they trust right now to get down with, I think that a part that's helpful is to tap into that passion and to do those creative things, because in nurturing that creative side of you, you're directly influencing your sexuality.
Let the juices flow, please, people, and I mean that metaphorically
And literally.
And literally, let them flow.
Yes. And Ida, how about you? What do you do? What's your thing?
Yeah, last but not least,
Yeah.
our guest,
From the
Ida.
No, I don't have much to say because everything has been said, but it was like very good to hear all these like positive thing. I guess that every woman they have to hear what you guys are telling, because it's so positive. And you know, like here in Montreal, we're so, I don't know, I cannot say we're so open, but there's like the majority of us are open. But if you go outside, we will see that we live in such a negative sexual health world, unhealthy and
Closed off.
Dysfunctional.
clothes, and like we have a lot of African around the table. And like we have like in our societies, like women are, I don't know, they are like stigmatized, bring to the down. They have
Marginalized.
if they have like STDs or STIs, they were like, because it's their fault, because they were being like
Promiscuous.
promiscuous,
And
or
deserve it.
God, I have put something on her, or the witches, or the
Yeah.
Oh my
sorcerer.
God.
Some things like that. And there are a lot of women and girls that are like inside of that. I'm thinking about girls like, in my country in Congo, there are being a lot of girls being raped, and they're doing that just to have to take part in the village, you know. And a girl that has been raped is like their fault. What is that?
And just because you're broken, right?
Exactly.
So what? I mean, obviously, I can't ask these girls what they're gonna do to sexually heal themselves. I'm not even gonna go there. But like Ida, what do you do? Because like I'm saying, like you've always been a source of sexual healing for me. I'm speaking for myself.
Oh, yeah?
But I'm also
I didn't hear that.
I know I'm also speaking for like our ACC crew. I'm not even gonna get into the details.
African clubbing clique.
clique.
We were 16, 17.
You know,
Cute.
but like, you know what I mean. So like, what did you do, and what do you do right now? Like, what do you do to stay like sexually healthy? And plus, because you're a resource for these women and these people, how do you stay in that space of sexual health? You know, to be able to bring that around you.
I think that just to, hear people hear them talk. Do not be judgmental. We talk about it like all night long. Not to be judgmental. To learn people to, to feel great about themselves and, just live their life. We're only here like as human for a time of
limited time. Yeah.
And let us live our own life. And I heard you women like talk like, yes, sex is good, but also there are people that they don't want to do that. So it's great for them too. They're like asexual and they're living with that too. And
live and let live.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
Moral of the story.
Yeah.
And we have to understand that we live, yes, we are human beings with like hormones and stuff like that, but there are a lot of like religion and like social construct around us.
Dogma.
Exactly. And a lot of people, they do not realize that. So I think we have to deconstruct that, and my work is to deconstruct that to like that people can just find, I don't know,
Their space,
like I'm telling Diane,
Feel
comfortable in their society they live in.
Yeah. So I feel like you're like spreading that like sexual healing and that sexual health and that find yourself and be aware of yourself and like accept yourself and love yourself. Because I feel like at the end of the day, the message is kind of almost always the same.
Own it.
Own it. Know who you are and love who you are.
Yeah.
Love.
And simple.
Yes.
Simple.
It's very simple. It's very difficult to apply, but it's simple. The message is very
difficult
simple.
because we are like individuals, but we live in like a world. We live with other human beings. We live in like a matrix society, macro society, and we have to fight norms and stuff like that.
And you want to fit in.
And we have to preserve norms.
Yeah.
Yes,
To preserve them too.
some of them, like
Some
some
people
of them,
tripping,
but
like, what's
others, like we have to just cut it out.
Well, yeah, because
I
we're all
think-
individuals. We all have our own path, our own experiences, and our ticks are different. What ticks for you might not be a tick for me. And what turns you on might not turn me on.
Absolutely.
But it's okay to be turned on.
Yes.
Turn it on, people.
Turn it on.
on.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Turn it on. Yes. Do you. Do you. Turn it on. So, thank you. Thank you so
I'm
much
so
for being
happy
with
to
us,
be
Ida.
here with you guys. I was
Thank
telling
you
you
for
ladies that
coming.
earlier that I was jealous. Not to be here in Montreal. I'm coming back for you guys.
We're so happy. So next
Thank
time
you
you're
for
back in
participating.
town.
Yeah, you have to
You're
come back on
you're
the
coming
show.
back
I hope
on our
that
show.
you will record another one like next week.
Yeah.
It's all the girl
Every week.
Every Thursday
We're
during
committed.
happy hour.
We're
That's
committed.
it. And for those of you listening, you don't know we be dropping
Go
that shit.
listen to some Marvin Gaye.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Sexual healing.
That's right.
Oh,
Go
that's
listen to
it.
some Marvin Gaye.
For those of you listening very intently, thank you so much for tuning in. Turn it on, son.
Turn
and
it
make sure
on.
to tune in for the next episode of Let's